Hi, I'm Deborah.
Hi everyone, my name is Peggy.
Hi everyone, my name is Marcus.
Hi, my name is Lian.
What?
The question is, what has been the most rewarding part of your job? So I think for me, the most rewarding part of my job is that I can actually apply my personal learnings and growth into my work with clients. And I think it's just so interesting to see how my experiences with my clients can be so interconnected at the same time, because we are all humans, right? And I think that just makes the work so interesting. Yeah, and that has been the most rewarding part for me. Yeah.
You know, sometimes people joke that social workers have a little bit of a savior complex to them, like helping people or saving lives, makes us feel good. To a certain extent, I think that might be true, because I think my most rewarding moments would be those where in the course of my work, we've managed to get clients out of a dangerous situation. So it could be where there were suicidal issues or family violence concerns, and they're very real. So it requires, much like what Peggy said, requires the application of maybe some professional knowledge to make a quick assessment, the professional skills to have rapport with the client so that we get the answers, we hear the truth, or to move them even in ways that they are hesitant or uncomfortable with. But ultimately to get them to a safe position, I think those were some of my most rewarding moments lah.
Oh yeah, yes. Just kidding.
Oh. No, again.
That's so boring.
Okay, the question is, can you share the most memorable incidences or cases you've encountered? Definitely cases where it's a lot more exciting because of the risk that the clients face. For example, they may be like on the verge of being chased out by their spouse because of family violence issues. I think memorable because it's so sudden. I feel like I'm in the same crisis as my client. So I do feel the stress, a little bit of that stress that they are facing. So I think that was memorable for me because I didn't feel like I may encounter the same experience as them. But I think being with my client then helps me to get a little bit of that glimpse of how it will be like to be in their shoes.
No, again.
It's fake.
Okay. What do people think you do at work? What do you actually do? There was actually one joke. It happened to my colleague. So one of his clients actually called him at his phone office. Then he said, that 杂工在哪里? It's like odd job labor, no? Odd job worker. 那个杂工在哪里? Actually, to some elderly, maybe we do a lot of things, including like, you fix the light bulb, or you mop the floor for them, or in the event that actually the floor was bad for them. Yeah. What do I actually do? If you ask me, because most of our clients are frail elderly, some of them are actually without legs of kin. So if I have to use a term, we are like pseudo child to them. When they go to hospital, doctors, nurse will call us, talk to us, and ask us about how is the person at home. So and that's where we account what he do every day, and we seriously will need to know the elderly quite well. So this is in a nutshell what I actually do.
For me, I have encountered people having different misconceptions. So I have people who tell me that they think that my work here is very slow paced, which is not true. Or they would just say that, hey, all you do is just to chat and talk to people, right? And that's not really true as well. That's just the tip of the iceberg. And I wouldn't call that chatting, because many times we actually have very intense conversations with our clients, especially if there is a certain, risk level. So what I actually do at work, I do casework and counseling with my youths. I also develop and execute programs such as group work, and I do facilitations as well. And I do mental health advocacy work, where I go to schools, I go to different places to conduct mental health awareness talks. And for us, it's really about empowering the youth to take charge of their mental health at where they are. So the question is, what is the most challenging part of being a social worker? For me, I would say the most challenging part is to, remain unaffected by very distressing cases. And sometimes, if let's say we are handling, cases with issues, it can be very difficult not to think about it, especially over the weekend, because we are not seeing the client and, we are just wondering how they are. And I think the second part is also, it can be, difficult, or it can rather be, really easy to blur the line between going the extra mile for client, as well as recognizing that client has autonomy in the situation as well. And I think sometimes as social workers, we need to be mindful of boundaries and really being able to recognize, when we should take a step back. Yeah.
Some of the cases that we actually will have to hold until they pass on, especially those without any next of kin, can be very stressful sometimes. And it's a marathon. Yeah, to run together with them. And just have a journey with them, and a lot of patience has to be required from us lah. Yeah, so that's a challenging part for my work.
Nope. I don't think it's anymore.
I think it's an easy question. It's not easy. The question is, what made you get into social work? I think in terms of personality wise, maybe more inclined towards in the helping profession. So I think social work was one of the areas that I was interested in, other than perhaps teaching or healthcare.
I think how I got into social work is, I would say, it's a journey of self-discovery for myself. It was actually a question that was asked by a lot of people to me when I first changed from being an educator to social work. So I would say it's actually discover about what I'm better in, what I enjoy doing more, and all that.
Okay. The question is, share an item that is representative of your work.
A notebook of my case note. During sessions, these are the things that I write down, things that are shared by the client. And I think it really documents the journey of every client that I encounter with. And I think on top of just, things that they tell me, I also do write down my own impressions or my own observations and assessment on this notebook. So actually this notebook is very important. And I also do draw genograms on it. Or sometimes I even draw mind maps with my clients using the same book. Something that I think a lot of caseworkers will need. That's my item.
This is a bag of things that I always put inside my bag when I go for home visits. Yeah, maybe I show you the items inside. InPad. Not every elderly know how to sign. So this is very crucial, because without this, sorry uncle, I come back another day, okay, just to get a thumbprint. No. So I always have this. Then some alcohol wipes. We have COVID now, very important. Then all the masks. Thermometer, because we have to check their temperature before we even continue our visit. Then there are things like the pill cutter. When we need to cut the pill for them. A pair of gloves, because you never expect what you have to do for the elderly, mop the floor, pour what kind of body fluid into the toilet bowl and all that. So we need to do some of these tasks. Not very often, but I do find myself doing that sometimes. Yeah, so this will protect my hands. Things like as hook. It comes very handy. Things like Ziploc bag, small Ziploc for medicine and all that. So these are some things I put in this bag that I'll always bring along. All these little, seemingly very small things, but it's very useful during our home visits. Yeah, so this is my 百宝袋.
Okay, the question is, what would you say to someone who is considering going into social? Whoever has already decided to go into social, I think you're very brave. Welcome for the, I think it's like a roller coaster ride, but I think it's exciting, it's fun, it's always challenging us to think differently. Yeah, it's a joy to be able to journey with someone else and trying to get a glimpse into other kinds of experiences that we may not have had if we are not in the social work sector.
I would say for anyone thinking about it, do your homework. I think it's not enough just to read about it online. So I think it would be a lot better if you know of any social workers, or if you can ask around to find a social worker. It's preferably somebody who's been doing it for a while, and really interview the person, really ask the person what does your job look like? What does the day-to-day look like? What do you like? What do you hate about the work? So that out of it you can really form a realistic picture about whether this is something you want to do.
I think to just add on, I think there's a lot of areas that a social worker can choose to work in as according to the people group that you are interested in helping. So for anyone that really looking into building trusting relationship with people, who like to build relationship with others, want to help others and all, I think social work would be a good career to embark on. Yeah.
Happy Social Work Day to all social workers out there.
Hi to all the social workers out there. Happy Social Work Day. Thank you for helping all our clients, making their life better. And continue to believe in what you are doing. But please remember to take care of yourself before you can take care of more people. Happy Social Work Day.
To all the social workers out there, I know you may not feel that way all the time, but you are appreciated. If not by your clients, then at least by us, your fellow social workers. I hope that you continue to get more recognition going forward for the work that you do, both the seen and the unseen. Do press in there, take care of yourself, and don't forget to clear your backlog of case notes.
To all the social workers out there, thank you for going the extra mile for your clients. Thank you for working overtime, bringing your work back, working at home. I think at the end of the day, we want you to know that you are doing the best that you can. So thank you very much.
Hi fellow social workers, thank you so much for all of your hard work. Even though people may not see what you do, but us social workers around, we do appreciate and see all the hard work that you have put in, and we really hope that you continue to persevere on in this journey and to help many other people. Thank you so much.